Broadcasting live on StarWorldWideNetworks.com. It's time for The Real Deal. Join the ambassador and special guest hosts as they put together great guests and honest commentary on a range of issues. But one of their main topics will be preserving Native American tributes in sports team nicknames. Also avid fans of music and the arts, and they'll always make time for a great song or two. Now, it's time for The Real Deal. Here's your host, the Ambassador.
Welcome to The Real Deal, ladies and gentlemen. We are at the famous Star Worldwide Networks in the Camelback Towers in beautiful downtown Scottsdale, Arizona. And yes, we are definitely off the reservation tonight. With me tonight is my producer, Kyle Pratt, the son of the infamous Dave Pratt, the founder of Star Worldwide. Say hello, Kyle.
How's it going, Ambassador?
Oh, man, it's great to be here. Excuse me. Also with me is my co-host, Maggie from Hong Kong. Say hi, Maggie.
Hi, anyone, Ambassador.
Maggie is an accomplished jeweler. She'll also be guest artist at the Phoenix Symphony this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can find her jewelry at jewelryscottsdale.com. And Maggie's handle on Twitter is Hong Kong Sugar.
Oh, I like that, Hong Kong sugar.
Okay, tonight we have a very special guest on the second half. She's a national advisor to Donald Trump. She's going to give us an update. I want to thank our sponsors, Graves Propane, with offices in northern Arizona, family-owned business, John and Susan Graves. Please buy your propane from Graves. They've been serving Native Americans for a long time. HUMATE International, my company, ladies and gentlemen, HUMATE.com. We sell minerals for conventional agriculture, organic agriculture, and we ship worldwide. One of our biggest customers is the Dole Food Company, and they are the largest grower in the world. Our other sponsor, Swisher Air Conditioning, they're donating a unit every month to a low-income Native American family here in Arizona. This is about a $10,000 deal to the family, so please consider being a sponsor. We need sponsors to keep the show going. Download the new app. It's got all the bells and whistles for the show here, right, Kyle?
Yep, and they can also find you on iTunes podcast if they look you up.
Okay, good. Thanks to our listeners all over the country, Native Americans, all Americans, coast to coast. I want to thank our listeners locally at Channel 3, Jamie Soretta, and others who listen to our show, American Indian Center of the Great Plains, Johnny Leonard, in which I am a principal. And then I want to also tonight we're going to talk a little bit about what happened yesterday. I predicted it. I've been saying it for a long time that when the electorate, the people, the American people, the voters, when they get pissed off at you, they vote against you. And I seen this in campaigns that I was involved in up on the reservation, and it's true. And that's what happened. They're upset and at the status quo. They know that they've been sold out by the politicians in Washington, D.C., the establishment politicians, Republicans, Democrats, all of them. Once they get there, they're bought and sold. They don't give a damn about us. So yesterday they had a chance to take it back. And we did. We took our country back. And I listened today, and it's just, everything was against Trump. The media, the establishment, the politicians, the lobbyists, the big media, small media, all of them were against him. And he fought them all back, and he went against all odds, and he won. And I have to shout out to my relatives in Pennsylvania who are listening tonight, because it was Pennsylvania that took him over the top. And as I told you, Kyle, I had some friends over last night, and we were sitting there watching, and, he took Florida, and then he took some other states on the East Coast, and everybody was concerned about Pennsylvania. And the first votes that come in were in Philadelphia. And that's a real liberal area, and they always vote Democrat. And Hillary Clinton figured they had it won. And my friends were saying, "Oh no, we're going to," because he was ahead, or she was ahead. And I said, "No." I says, "Wait till the rest of Pennsylvania comes in, and then pretty soon the Western Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, and Northern Pennsylvania, Scranton, Hershey, and all these other cities, Harrisburg." And when they come in, then it went for Trump, and that was pretty much it, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that put him at 276.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, 276.
He was right there, in because Pennsylvania was 20 votes,
Right.
and he was at 256. And once Pennsylvania came in, that was closed deal.
Yeah, he closed the deal, and I'm glad it went the way it did, because now at least we know we can take our country back, and we got to drain the sewer.
Yeah.
He says a swamp. I call it a sewer. You know, it's
more
just
accurate.
Yeah, it's a rotten sewer, and these people that I listened to the news today, and they're saying, "Well, the polls got it wrong." Well, ladies and gentlemen, the media, the corrupt media, has no ethics. They're all in the tank for Clinton. 97% of them donated to Clinton. This is confirmed. 97% of the journalists in media, they all donated to her, so that leaves 3%. So who's that leave? Judge Jeanine, Sean Hannity, and Lou Dobbs, and a few others. You know, all the rest of them, they're all in the tank for her, and they control the polls.
Yeah.
So if if they're out there swaying the message, and giving her the questions, like CNN giving her the questions at the debate, then and they control the polls. So what do you expect?
I think they hurt themselves with controlling the polls.
Oh, they did.
Because it encouraged a lot of her voters not to go out and vote because they thought she was going to have it by a landslide.
Yeah.
So they're like, "Oh, I don't need to go out and vote. She'll win."
Yeah.
And then it encouraged all the Trump voters like us to go out and vote, and that's what we did.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, it come out today that the Hispanic vote, he got a lot of the Hispanic vote. Mm-hmm. You know, and they said, "Oh no, she's gonna get all that."
Yeah.
Well, the Hispanics, and like up in New Mexico and here in Arizona, I know a lot of them. They've been on my show. They are here legally, and they don't like illegals coming over here because it takes their jobs.
Yeah.
You know,
You're a U.S. citizen.
They're U.S. citizens, and
if you're a U.S. citizen, it takes your job away.
Yeah, they take their jobs away. So and then if you ask them, and this is really interesting. Like I asked Priscilla, the lady that was taking care of Jane. She's Pascuayaki, and she has family in Mexico, and they don't like to go down there. They said, "Hey, we tell them to come up here if they want to see us. We don't like to go to Mexico." I said, "Don't you like to go down there and just go sightseeing or go to the ocean?" Or no, we don't like to go down there. We don't like to go down there for weddings or reunions or anything like that. And the reason why is because they said they'll shake them down. You know, the Mexican cops will see them and say, "Those are Mexican Americans."
Yep.
You know, so pull them over, tell them their taillights out, and shake them down for a couple hundred. You know, so they don't even like to go there, which I don't blame them. I mean, if they're going to shake, it's like Vladimir, my PhD from Russia. And he says, "You know what the three things that's wrong with Russia?" And I said, "What's that?" And he says, "Corruption, corruption, corruption." He says, "When I go to Russia," and he says, "I don't like to go there either." He says, "They shake me down big time because they know he's a Canadian citizen, very successful, and they'll pull him over or do something just to try to hammer him for a bribe." And he says he just don't like to go there. So I know. Like in Florida, the Cubans went for Trump, the Haitians went for Trump, and the Florida Mexicans went for Trump. Mm-hmm. You know, and they thought they had that one in the bag. But you know what really upset me is our former presidents, the Bushes. They
voted for Hillary.
Yeah, they went for Hillary.
And then today they congratulate him.
Yeah. And today they called Trump to congratulate him. I wouldn't even took the call.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have took the call. I'd have said, talk to my secretary.
Yep. All those anti-Trumpers like Kasich and
Oh, yeah. They're
Paul
phony.
Ryan.
That Paul Ryan, he's a phony.
They're calling him.
Yeah, they're calling him,
kissing his butt now.
They're kissing his ass. But if I was him, boy, I'd try to get along with him when he gets into office. Try to get along with him.
Deal with them later.
Yeah, and deal with them later, and then if they don't cooperate, start slapping them around.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I do. I just start slapping them around because the people will forget. They don't forget that.
Oh, no. They had to be sweating watching those.
Yeah, and McCain, he's another one. He's another loser.
Yeah. He won last night. Sheriff Joe, unfortunately.
Yeah, he lost.
Win,
yeah. And then you remember Sheriff Joe in here in the show? Mm-hmm. He said that this Soros donated $2 million to his opponent.
Oh, yeah.
Penzone or whatever his name is. Yeah, he donated $2 million. And then I don't know how true it is, but they said that Hillary Clinton's daughter is married to his nephew. Did you see that?
I did not.
Yeah,
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it either. But I'll tell you, there's going to be an investigation and this pay to play and all this corrupt stuff that she did. She's going to end up in some serious trouble.
Oh yeah, and Trump already released his 100-day plan.
Yeah, that's what Ed was telling me.
Yeah, he has a plan. I'm telling you, people say don't vote for him, don't vote for him. He has no idea what he's doing, but I don't think Hillary would have had a 100-day plan ready.
Well, it would have just been more of the same with her.
Yeah.
And, I'm glad he got in because I was telling Maggie, my health insurance is going to triple.
Oh, man.
Because of this Obamacare.
Yeah. And being a small company like we are here,
right, it's
terrible for us. So that was one of the biggest deciding factors when it came to voting for us.
That should have been a deciding factor for anybody.
Oh, it's just insane.
Yesterday,
Arizona.
Yesterday, I went and voted up in Paradise Valley near my house, and I wore a bright red shirt to show the Trump color, So I pull up and park the car and go inside. It's in a school over on off of Doubletree there. I don't know the name.
Tesseract?
No, it's the other one down the street, closer to Scottsdale Road, and then off of 56th Street in Doubletree.
So was it a high school?
Yeah.
Horizon?
Yeah, that's Horizon. Okay. Yeah. So I went over there to vote, and I always go there to vote. So I walk in, and there's some people there voting, and they had shirts on that said "Bikers for Trump." And I looked at them, and I said, "Hey, I like your shirt." And they looked at me, and they gave me the thumbs up. So I had my passport with me, and I had my ballot to mail in, and that I just took it with me, and I'm glad I did, because they said, we got to see your driver's license. And I said, well, my driver's license is a New Mexico driver's license. And I said, that's why I brought my passport. And they said, well, your passport doesn't have your address on it, and which I guess it doesn't. But anyway, one of these guys said, hey, he's got a ballot right there, because I'd have to go home and get, like a phone bill or my mortgage or whatever. And so she said, no, he's got a ballot right there. He can fill that ballot out because it's my name and sign it and has my address on it. So I said, okay, I'll do that. And then I voted, and then I walked outside, and there was this woman out there, and she was wanting me to vote for somebody named Hamway or something.
Oh, local?
Yeah. And I asked her, I says, did you vote? I voted for Donald Trump. I said, did you vote for Donald Trump? She said, oh, no, I couldn't vote for him. I said, why? And he says, oh, well, he said a bad thing about women. I said, are you kidding me? I said, a bad thing about women? He said something about women, and Hillary Clinton's husband had women in having sex in the White House with women.
In the Oval Office.
And confirmed. Yeah. Confirmed. And you got the nerve to say something that Trump said a bad thing about Megyn Kelly. And I said, Megyn Kelly's a piece of crap.
Yeah.
She's another one. She
jumped on the Trump train last night as soon as he won. Did you see that?
Oh, no, I didn't see it.
Yeah, she was bashing him all election. And once she started seeing that Trump was winning, she started kissing his ass.
Yeah, she's a total phony. She gets on there and says, well, women are not objects, and you're a sexist. And then she has pictures. There's pictures of her.
I've seen them.
Yeah, you've seen them, of her in the nude and her with her with her sexy lingerie on. She thinks she's a sex pistol, and she's a total jerk.
And Newt Gingrich has destroyed her.
Oh, yeah.
That was great.
I didn't listen to him last night. Was he on any of the stations?
I listened to him on Sean Hannity today. And both of them were just ecstatic. They were on cloud nine.
Yeah. Well, those guys are good. And I'll tell you the other one I like is that Rudy Giuliani.
Oh, yeah. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's the one. He's really sharp. And he was a prosecutor in New York.
Yep.
And he said that, this Clinton Foundation is like a mafia-run enterprise. And he said when he was a prosecutor, he would go after these mafia businesses, and he would file a RICO charge against them, which is racketeering.
Yeah.
RICO stands for racketeering. I forget the acronym, but that's what RICO means. Mm-hmm. And he says then that you take all their money, you take everything they own, and that's what he said that needs to be done is go after with the RICO charge, and they probably will because it's just
I imagine
pay to play. I mean, that's what goes on in Washington. I used to live over there. I'd go there every week, and that's the way these guys operate. And I was doing it on a small scale. Yeah. And these guys are big time, big leaguers, man.
And that's exactly why I think America kind of woke up because Trump, especially the last month, really showed that, the whole pay-to-play stuff, and especially with the WikiLeaks coming out and stuff with Hillary last month.
That guy with WikiLeaks, they ought to give him a medal.
Oh, Julian Assange.
Yeah.
He is,
They ought to give him a medal or give him asylum or something.
He took the blinders off of a lot of people's eyes.
Oh, man, he really did. It was just amazing, the stuff that come out. And it's like Maggie, all the people in China are for Trump, huh?
Oh, yes. Big time.
Are they?
Yeah, they love Donald Trump.
Yeah, well,
he's how can I say, he's a very honest man, and China say, the movie star in Hollywood, they for Hillary Clinton, it's not fair. It's not fair for him. He's fighting very hard. China say this real man. He's fighting so hard.
Right.
Although Obama is for Hillary Clinton, China say it's not fair for Donald Trump. Obama also for Hillary Clinton. Nobody stand up by his side. China say feel sorry for Donald Trump, but anybody want he win. So he make it. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's really exciting to see this happen in our lifetime.
Biggest political or modern upset in modern history.
Yeah, and the media really needs to be held accountable for what they did to us. They really do. They need to pay.
Oh, yeah. And they're going to try to brush it off and act like they're on his board now.
If I was Trump, I wouldn't give him a pass. I'd ride him hard, boy.
Oh, yeah.
Because to me, it's not even media. No. It's a propaganda machine. That's what they're dealing here is propaganda. Mm-hmm. I call them the spinners. They're just spinning it.
They force your head to look in one direction.
Yeah, and all the money that they spend on these ads and then writing all these bad articles about Trump.
Oh, Hillary spent so much.
Yeah, and bringing 25 women out of the woodwork. Oh, yeah, he groped me on an airplane, or he did something to me. And
thinking that Access Hollywood tape, would do it, but actions speak louder than words, and people want policy changes instead of if he said a bad word or not.
Right, that's right. Okay, I now I want to introduce my audience to Peter McDonald. He's going to say something to you in Navajo.
Yate shas toy sezane setelke shije kent neshike no kliniki o shidi Peter McDonald dashne aska zahon slobet ani bashin ado tsakad ne dashnal ashi dashche todich in eba esetta shada halya kododi anini eba hanne no kodoy ambassador Dennis Yellowhorse niji yaltijo yolwol akota nini be edeba hanne the real deal wol yo jo koy hashine lan ne says yadal tlahoda ba ohlahob lahadal no die do kot eda ebni na hada kisigi kodo the real deal no yahal negi da nini jo edeba honne Ako ikena aslagi sto banda yolni to banda notra Graves Company will live. La shibeda on the Sunday, da jo kodo, quishi what out. The Hikena slow kodo, quichi, na long kodo, yati.
Thank you, Peter. That was Peter McDonald. He was 4-time chairman of the Navajo Nation, and he's also a Navajo Code Talker, president of the Navajo Code Talkers. There's only about 15 of these guys left. We did 4 shows back-to-back last February with him, and you can go to our archive shows, and they're titled Peter MacDonald, M-A-C, capital D-O-N-A-L-D, and you'll hear Peter talk about the Navajo Code Talkers and how they got to be Code Talkers and when they were young Navajo kids and they were recruited into the Marine Corps. Now I want to have Mark Burr, my associate in New York, say something to our listeners in Spanish.
Claro que sí, don Dennis. Nuevamente, bienvenidos a nuestra audiencia de hispanoparlantes y a todos nuestros patrocinadores, Graves Propane de Flagstaff y YouMade Internacional de Gallup, Nuevo México, y a todos los radio oyentes a través de la nación y del Real Deal y nuestro anfitrión, el embajador.
Thank you, Mark. Now I'm going to have my co-host here from Hong Kong is going to say something to our listeners in Hong Kong and in China. Maggie, if you would.
Okay, thanks, Chief. 其实这个节目是说美国印第安人的历史文化。Western Post 访问所有美国印第安人，他们都喜欢 Western Redskin Kenya Sitting Chief 这个名字，但是有的花园要改变这个名字。珍妮斯·王马先生为了保护这个名字，他本人做出了好大的贡献和支持。我们希望得到每一位的参与和支持。珍妮斯·王马先生还有出售有机土壤叫优美。如果有需要打我美国电话6025151073。Thanks so much, Chief, for having me on Real Deal. That is such my honor.
Thank you, Maggie. Star Worldwide Networks, ladies and gentlemen. It's the largest, fastest-growing internet radio station in the country. 200 shows, 6 million listeners. Kyle, tell them who's number one.
The Real Deal's number one.
That's right. Okay, thank you. And that's because of all of you folks, all the fans of the teams that honor Native Americans. We want to thank the Kansas City Chiefs, the Washington Redskins, Golden State Warriors, Atlanta Braves, Cleveland Indians, Chicago Blackhawks for listening and honoring Native Americans by using these names. And it's like I said before, it's a social and cultural genocide what these political correctness people are doing to ruin our country. That's why Trump's in there. And I get letters, like last night I got letters, and this morning I got letters and text from people, and I'm going to read one to you. He says, Dennis, you especially deserve the credit for taking the fight to the airways against political correctness and Clinton and Obama at your own expense, I might add. Thank you so much for your support. And that was just one of them, and I got a bunch of them. So thank you for the letters and the thoughts, and we appreciate it here at The Real Deal. We just got to keep on going. So we're going to take a short break here, and then we'll be right back.
Those lights are burning up my ass. Try
Okay, we're back. Now we're going to go to my next guest. She's been on the show a couple of times, and her name is Mina Holmes. Mina, God bless Donald Trump.
Yes, indeed.
Hi.
Pretty much miracle, miracle, miracle.
Yep.
Yes. Hi, Mina.
Hi,
我们赢了。
Yes, yes, yes. We won.
好开心啊。
Yeah, very happy.
Yes, very exciting.
Yes.
Yep. I'll tell you, I believe in the power of prayer, and I think Donald Trump was sent to us. Don't you?
Well, I tell you what, having heavily involved with the campaign, let me tell you, almost every step is a miracle. And so put it together, it's a miracle of miracle. And, but I'm glad it really, really happened. I couldn't believe it. I'm still, it's like in the state of shock. good kind of shock.
Right, yeah. Mina, have you ever heard of a guy named Dr. Lance Walnew? He's a religious speaker.
Lance Wanu, yes.
Oh, okay. So you've heard of him.
Yes.
Yeah, my CFO of one of my companies called me and told me about him, and I says, no. I said, I never. He says, you need to listen to him. He's got a video on YouTube. So I listened to it today, and he predicted, like, I don't know, 6 or 8 months ago, he was speaking, and he predicted that Trump was going to win, and it's like a godsend. And he cited scripture in the Bible to back him up. And his name is Dr. Lance, Lance.
Yes.
For our listeners, it's Wallnau. And so if you go on YouTube, you can go to Dr. Lance Wanu, and then the name of the video is God's Chaos Candidate, or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, and he's really good. And my sister, she's heard of him and listens to him, but I never listened to him before. But I did today, and it was very enlightening, really.
In fact, not just Lance, there are many others, such as Kat Kerr. If you go to Facebook, you can KATKERR, Kat Kerr, and many people, including myself, received dreams about Donald Trump.
Really?
This is the way before the election, and this is why a big reason why I work so hard, because the 2 dreams that I had received.
Right. And your organization was Asian Americans for Donald Trump, right?
I belonged to Asian Americans for Trump.com,
right,
and also Faith Outreach. But now these 2 kind of after election are kind of dissolved. Now we're forming new committees.
Good. Well, anytime you want to come on the air and talk about any of that. Have you talked to any of the other Trump people that was on the show or that we were on the conference call with?
Yes. In fact, you're familiar with Herman Matter.
Right.
And I work with daily, and the other people like Daryl Scott, Frank Amedia. These are the pastors that are very, very closest to Mr. Trump along this journey, and we are like forming some sort of a committee to would be a nonprofit, and to continue to help and support him. And in fact, we're planning on having a get together sometime in January, inviting all the national pastors, leaders to come and pray for Trump. And so this morning I've been very busy planning the meetings and the hotel rooms and all that. And Lance Warner will be one of our speakers at the pastors' prayer meeting.
Oh, wow, that's going to be exciting.
Mm-hmm.
You ever heard of a guy named Louis Farrakhan?
Yes.
Okay. You ever heard of him, Kyle?
Yes. He also endorsed Trump.
Yeah, he endorsed Trump. This guy is a black activist, and he's from Chicago, and he's a preacher, and he's got a big black following. And I've been following this guy for about 25, 30 years.
Oh.
He has a home here in Phoenix.
Oh.
Yeah, a big home down in Phoenix. But he's made a lot of money. But about 25, 30 years ago, he was invited by Gaddafi to go to Libya, Omar Gaddafi. And so he went to Libya, and I think that was at the time when Americans weren't even supposed to go to Libya. I don't remember, but he went to Libya, and the purpose of him going to Libya, meeting with Gaddafi, was to come back and stir up trouble in the United States with get the black community stirred up, and also the Native American community. And that's when I started following him. And the guy, I mean, he's not one of my fans by any means. So the other day, I don't know who sent it to me, one of our listeners, where they did a political ad with him. This PAC, one of those super PACs, and they got him. And I hadn't followed the guy in years, but I watched him the other day, and he was doing a sermon in Chicago. And he started out by saying that Hillary Clinton is an evil woman. She's an evil, wicked woman. And please don't vote for Hillary Clinton. She don't care about us. She don't give a darn about us. And she had my friend Gaddafi killed in Libya, because remember they invaded Libya on her watch. And that is true. I mean, and Gaddafi and Farrakhan were buddies, and because he made several trips over there to Libya. So they took his speech and then made a commercial out of it. And they were playing it in all the inner cities.
Really?
Yeah, and they were playing it in Chicago. They were playing it in Detroit. They were playing it in Baltimore, Philadelphia, all the cities, in Washington D.C. And he was saying in the commercial that Obama, he left the hood. He says, Obama, you need to come back to the hood.
Oh, I've seen that video. I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah, I posted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. He says, it was about a 2-minute video. Yep. That's it. That's the one. And I got it and posted it on The Real Deal and shared it, but that's the guy.
Okay. Now I know.
Yeah, and Obama was just railing on Clinton or not Obama, Farrakhan was railing on Clinton and Obama, for just pandering, and once they left the hood in Chicago, it's like Trump said, the only time they come back is to get a vote. Yep.
Every 4 years.
Yeah.
I don't even think that Obama lived in the hood. He's different kind of a black guy. But anyway, I'm so happy that he's leaving, and everything is going to be changed, and the country is going to come back to the other direction, to rebuild. I mean, really, our emphasis is to rebuild, and also to bring the jobs back.
Right.
And also, start to consider that we are not a global government. We are America first.
Right.
You got to build America, then you can help the rest.
Right.
If your young people are starving, if you just like health care alone, I have to pay like $550 a month for Obamacare, whereas before I pay $138. Well, can you imagine?
Yeah. Well,
and this is so we have a lot of rebuilding to do, but I'm very happy at least we have the chance to do it.
Yeah, here in Arizona, that's what my monthly payment was. Now it's going up to almost $1,800 a month. After
the rent?
My insurance.
Really?
Yeah, because all of them pulled out. I was with Blue Cross Blue Shield. They said, "Hey, see you at the end of the year. We're out of here." Same thing with Kyle here and his family.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
Because we're a small company here, so.
So you don't eat then. Just don't eat.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Maggie, no food. We can't buy food anymore.
No, we need to, Mina, we need to sell Yume to Taiwan, make lots of money, okay? When you go back to Taiwan next time, we go together. Have you been to Taiwan sometime? Back to Taiwan?
Well, I go to Taiwan to visit, and the medical care is good and cheap.
Oh, in Taiwan?
Yes.
Yeah, just like other day I talked to Chief, the cousin. I say, I'm from Hong Kong. If I get sick, I go back to Hong Kong, see a doctor for free, because Hong Kong don't need to pay.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, Hong Kong don't need to pay, but it's for very emergency. If people got cancer, got cancer, you can go already. If not serious problem, they need to waiting for 1 year. It's also it's because for fee you need to wait.
No.
Yeah. So and then the cousin say no, don't go back to Hong Kong. You stay here, see a doctor. Don't worry.
Well, if you can schedule an appointment here, then the medical care doctors here they are good, except they are not available.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And we're going to be more like Canada or Europe if we continue to go the way that we are. But I'm glad. Okay, this is going to change. We need to prevent a lot of things.
Right. Did you hear? Kyle was telling me, my producer here, that Trump put out his 100-day plan today.
Oh, he did? No.
Yeah, his 100-day.
That's what Ed told me.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
I'm looking it up right now.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he come out with his 100-day plan. He unveiled it today.
Wonderful. Well, I did see from the Facebook that he made a call to Netanyahu, the premier from Israel.
Right, and then so, he also talked to the president of Mexico too.
Oh, see. Yeah. That's good. He's a good businessman. Say hi to everybody.
Yeah, and it's business. See, here's what a lot of these political hacks don't understand, including some of them in the media, like O'Reilly, this Bill O'Reilly on Fox. He says, "Mr. Trump, how are you ever going to get Mexico to pay for that wall? How are you going to? How is that possible?" And Trump just looked at him like, "See, these guys don't know business.
Yeah.
They have no business acumen."
Yeah.
I would say, well, I don't have to tell you, but here's how it's going to work. They're going to want something from us, and we're going to want something from them, and it's just negotiating. Say, okay, we'll give you that. You pay for the wall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a deal.
Yeah, it's easy.
The art of the deal.
It's a very, that's true. Just like a refugee situation, that I hate to call them dummies, but the dummies in this country say, bring the refugees here. But you know what? When I talk to the ambassadors from Middle East, they say, don't. Give us the money. We can do 10 times better than you do in America because it's a whole lot cheaper there. Right. Give us the money. We can get island or places, get a medical care, education, everything. Yeah. Why do you want to put them here? They don't like to come here anyway because they have to learn the culture, learn the change, learn everything.
It's like Mexico. People say, well, why do the Mexicans come here? I said, it's because they ain't have any jobs. If they had jobs, and they wouldn't be sneaking up here, they'd be home working.
That's true. They have good land.
They have great land, and they're great people. And nobody wants to leave their home. They leave their home because they have to.
That's true.
If there's no work, they got to feed their kids. They got to make some money, so they got to do what they got to do.
Well, the mystery of people said Trump put America first. He's going to lock up the country. I said no.
Right.
When you can take care of your own business, then you can take care of others' business. If you cannot take care of yourself, you cannot take care of others.
Well, it's like I told you, about 280 miles, maybe 300 miles north of wherever I'm sitting right now, there's an area called the Bennett Freeze, and it's on Navajo land. And it's been tied up. It's in litigation with the federal courts on who really owns it, if it's the Navajo tribe or the Hopi tribe. And the federal government totally screwed all this up. It's all their fault. But up there, they weren't allowed to do anything to the land until it was decided in court who really had title to the land and who should live there and who shouldn't. So there's Navajos up there that have houses that are third world, dirt floors, no electricity, and they have to haul their water 50 miles.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, we was trying to get Trump up there, and if we could have got him up there, he would have freaked out. He would have totally flipped because he never seen anything like this. He thinks the inner cities are bad. You wait till you go to some of these Indian reservations.
Yeah, well, the good news is Donald Trump Jr. did come to.
He went up to Shiprock. Yeah,
and they make an announcement that they will look at the federal law to change it to loosen up in favor of the Native Americans.
Yeah, I sent him an email because I couldn't go, but I sent him an email citing that right there where he's at, The unemployment's around over 50%, and there's huge, vast amounts of coal. There's vast amounts of oil, natural gas. You have power plants there that convert the coal to electricity, and they ship the electricity down here to Phoenix and Tucson and Las Vegas and Southern California. And you have environmentalists that go up there and protest, and they're paid, just like they're paid to protest for Clinton. They're up there, paid protesters, to go up there and try to shut the mines down and shut the power plants down. And these Navajos are saying, hey, wait a minute, are you going to give us some jobs? Oh, no, we can't give you any jobs. Well,
really?
Yeah. It's incredible. And the Navajos wanted to build a power plant up there about 7 years ago, state of the art. And there was a company in New York that I was working with to put up the money. And it was going to be like, I don't know how many billions of dollars, 50 billion, I forget. But anyway, they wanted to get they had to get a clean air permit from the EPA, and Obama wouldn't give it to them.
Well, Trump is going to change that. So one of his major policies to loosen up the EPA regulation.
Oh, the EPA are job killers.
Yeah, killing people. And so, we really need to... I'm very excited about the opportunity that Trump gets to do what he, wanted to do. We just have to pray that he has the good people now to surround him and with wisdom and plan this out and give all the people in America a good opportunity to thrive. Right. Especially, I think, the underprivileged Native Americans. I feel like they've been locked up in the rest too long.
Yep. Yeah.
And especially by all these regulations and all laws.
Yeah.
And making it impossible to really realize their potentials.
Right. They're handcuffed. They really are.
So I appreciate your program. Hopefully all this message out can encourage all these people.
Well, thanks for coming on, Mina. We're going to have to go. But I look forward to seeing you either in California or out on the res or here in Scottsdale.
Thank you for having me on.
Okay, well, before you leave, I got to tell you one thing. This political correctness that Trump's against and that we're against, and that's how I started this show, was on behalf of the Washington Redskins, and he come out in favor of the name of the Washington Redskins and Kansas City Chiefs and all the names that honor Native Americans.
Wonderful.
Yeah, he did. He come out. It was on Facebook or somewhere. I seen it today that he's in favor of keeping the names that honor the teams.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, and so it's a blessing that because these political correctness people, but they have a real problem. And I'll tell you, Kyle, you tell Mina, tell our listeners, you know what the problem with these people are?
You can't handle the truth.
See ya. Okay, we're back. That was Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones. The guy playing the horn, the saxophone, was Bobby Keys, my friend. He passed away last year. He was from Albuquerque, and he was a heck of a nice guy. And when they'd come to Phoenix, I'd go see them, and we'd go backstage with them. And he was just a great sax player, and he was playing the sax on that on that song. That's Trump's favorite band, the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, I've heard it at a couple of his rallies.
Yeah, at his rallies, he always closes out with a Rolling Stones song.
Oh yeah, he's a rock and roll guy. I know that for sure.
My kind of guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. One of the things I want to talk about before we close it out is John Graves, my supporter and sponsor. He told me, and I looked it up, and it's true, 70% of Americans have under $1,000 in savings. That's a lot. A lot of people with no money. So that tells you they're just living paycheck to paycheck. So that's why it's so important now. God gave us Donald Trump. We got to go to work and make America great again, and we can do it. We've always done it. And we'll just keep on trucking and take care of your employees, and things will get better. Things are going to really get better. I think the mood in the country is going to change. I can
already feel it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it's just a great attitude, and the people that are in business are going to do more business, and you're going to pay less taxes. So that's going to add more money to the economy. It's going to give more people more money to put in their pockets to go out and buy something from you. And, people said, well, we owe $20 trillion in debt. Well, where do you think all this money is? Well, ladies and gentlemen, money is like water. It don't disappear. It just moves around. Yeah. If you take the globe, take the earth, the water's, if it's not here, where is it? It's somewhere around. It didn't leave
outside the U.S.
Yeah, it's outside the U.S. It didn't leave the planet.
Yeah,
it's just somewhere else, and that's why Trump said he knows where it is. He says it's in these offshore accounts, and these guys, these big companies, and these billionaires keep it offshore because if we bring it back, they're going to charge them all this money. He's going to give them an incentive to bring all this money back, where they don't have to pay anything to bring it back. It'll be something so incredible for them. It'll entice them to move it back. So they're going to bring in trillions of dollars into our country that's not here. So just remember that it's like water. It just moves around the planet.
Yep.
Just because it's not here doesn't mean it's somewhere else. It's somewhere else. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to bring it back, and it's going to be good for all of us. I'm telling you right now. Kyle, I think we got one more song, don't we?
We do.
Yeah, tee it up.
I got the wiggles in my knees when she looked at me and sweetly smiled.
All right. We're back. Mick Jagger, Kyle, the guy's 71 years old.
He's still going.
He's still rocking. He's got a 28-year-old wife, and I think they're going to have a kid. So
wow.
Yeah, I like his style.
Living the rock and roll life, you know?
Yeah, rock and roll style.
Yep.
My kind of guy.
I love it.
Okay, in closing, I always want to thank all of our people in the armed services here and abroad for protecting our great country. Also, the first responders. And when I see a cop, I always go out of my way to walk up to them, or a firefighter, and I shake their hand. And I did that yesterday at the polls, and I tell them, thank you for your service. And they said, thanks. And all lives matter. And this Black Lives Matter is just a total phony civil rights scam. All lives matter, and we got to have law and order in this country. And that's one of the reasons why I'm sure people voted for Trump, is because he will bring law and order to this country. And so we're at the end here, so please buy your propane from our sponsor, Graves, and Swisher Air Conditioner, and Humate International, HUMATE.com. Contact me if you want to be a distributor for Humate. We'll make it worth your while. Also, we need sponsors. Anybody that wants to be a sponsor, we can do it at any level. You can contact me at yellowhorse.us or email us at info@yellowhorse.us or 602-540-3000. 602-540-3000. That's for the real deal. So I want to thank Star Worldwide, and like us on Facebook, The Real Deal on Facebook. That's important. And share it with everybody as you do. And that way you'll see our posts and pictures and all the good things. So thank you, Kyle, and your family for having us here.
It's our pleasure.
Yep. Yeah, we love it here. This is our home. We want to stay here, so help us out. And Maggie, thank you for being the lovely co-host from Hong Kong.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's such my honor. Thank you, Pastor. Thank you, Kyle.
Of course.
Thank you, anybody. So we'll win.
Yeah, Trump won, yep. So with that being said, I want to tell everybody to pray for Donald Trump, pray for our country. It's all going to be good. God answered our prayers, and we're going to make America great again together. So, Kyle, before I leave, I want you to tell all our listeners all over the world, and we got them all over the world, why the ambassador is here.
To kick ass and save names, ambassador.
You damn right. See you next week.
Thank you for listening to The Real Deal. Tune in to The Real Deal with the Ambassador and special guest hosts every Wednesday at 5 p.m. and on demand 24/7 right here on Star Worldwide Networks.